Hey everybody, this video follows my previous one about how to kind of recover from having a crossed Aldol addition. How can I make it so that I can restrict the number of products that are going to come out there? So there's really kind of two sides to dealing with something like this. And the first side is you have some sort of, you have a choice when it comes to your reagents. That is, you can choose a reagent that has limited or no alpha hydrogens. Okay, so a carbonyl compound with no alpha hydrogens, this is a good example. There is one hydrogen attached to this carbonyl that is not an alpha hydrogen. It's attached to a benzene ring. There are no alpha hydrogens there. So if this were to react with something that did have an alpha hydrogen, something that could be removed, so let's say there's an R here, there's an H, and this is removed, this will be the place that, if this is acting like a nucleophile, this will be the place where it reacts always. So you can choose that this can be the electrophilic center of, for this reaction. So the nucleophile will end up attacking here. So this is the positive center where it can happen. And if that is the case, then we can slowly add whatever reagent this is, and what that does is that minimizes reactions with itself. That means as soon as it gets dropped into reaction, it reacts with the other species present and not itself. So let's just playing that out with a tetramethyl, with a trimethyl thing here. So there's no alpha carbon here. The only alpha carbon is right here. So one of these hydrogens is going to end up being added. So there's our reagent and base. This base is doing nothing with this reagent. So as soon as this gets added, it reacts with our base. One of these alpha hydrogens is removed. So it ends up attacking right here at the carbonyl. So what ends up being added is this. So CH2, C double bond O. C, 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. So that's what ends up being added. And then if we want to dehydrate that, so acid in the presence of heat, then we end up removing this OH, and we get CH, C double bond O, C, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is one strategy for doing it. So always keep in mind, if you choose your reagents carefully, you can make it so that only one can end up acting like a nucleophile. So that is one strategy for us. Is there another? Well, of course there is. I wouldn't have another piece of paper if there wasn't. So here, again, these two are not the same, and I only want to get this product out of it. So I've got this cyclohexanone, and I've got this four-membered chain of carbon atoms, and there is an alpha carbon here, there is an alpha carbon here. So I can abstract the hydrogen from there, but this is the only thing that I want to get out of it. So how can I make that happen? Again, I can choose I can't choose my reagents, but what I can choose is the order in which I combine them, and to some extent reagents, because look at this, I'm going to use LDA here. So when I add LDA, that ends up making this species. Okay, and that reaction is over once this species is made. So when I have this species and it's made, and then I can slowly add this one in the presence of THF to add this. But here's what would happen if I added this one. If I added this one with LDA, CH3, CH2, CH, negative, C double bond OH. This would be my species, okay? If this is the species that I have, and this one does the reacting, then this carbonyl would still be there, and that is not what I'm trying to form. So the way that this reaction would have to go, so the order would be, I want to do this first, and then I would want to slowly add this. So an LDA with THF, that would make this. And then I will slowly add this species. And then this species will end up being attacked by this nucleophile here. So I have CH3, CH2, CH2C, OH, And then I'll show this one in green. And that was adjacent to my carbonyl. So it ends up adding that. And you can see that this is this species. These two guys are the same. They're just, not arranged the same on a piece of paper. So those are a couple of strategies that you can use if you want to cut down on the number of different products that you end up making with this. So I hope that is helpful to you. Thanks.